Hello, everybody, and welcome back.
It's the Super Bowl special.
It is indeed.
Super
As you
Bowl.
can see, we have a new layout here. Super Bowl logo that won't stay for very long. Kev, our host, me, the other host or co-host,
co-host,
and we have some surprises for you all today.
We have a very special episode
in honor of the 59th Super Bowl, I believe. So if I got that wrong, I'm sorry. So for this special occasion, we've brought on not one, but two familiar faces for the Bet the Over podcast today. You know them, you've seen them before. Welcome, Doug, and welcome, Haywood.
Hey.
No way we got the theme song.
Nice.
All right, that's enough of that. Welcome, guys. How are we doing today?
How we doing?
Good. Doing good. We all
right?
sound
Hear me
good.
all
We
right?
all sound good. We all look good. Yep.
Perfect.
Everybody sounds good.
No, you're looking better than
Same,
everyone here, Steve.
No, I don't know about that.
We got the four corners going.
We do indeed. All surrounding the Super Bowl logo. For Bet the Over to hype up Super Bowl 59.
the Super Bowl nobody wanted.
Yeah,
we're sponsored by the Super Bowl.
Kev, what are you thinking about this Super Bowl? How do you want to break down today? How do you want to do it?
So we got the questions. We'll ask everyone. We'll kind of be like the moderators, I guess. We'll ask them to the questions. And then we'll kind of go from there. We'll probably stray off into different sections. We'll go over probably the awards that, I guess, what is it? The award ceremony, like the MVP, NFL honors. Maybe we'll talk about some Hall of Famers. I know a lot of people, Giants fans.
I was gonna say too, maybe that
Eli Manning,
the Doncic trade too.
The Doncic trade, we can even bring that up, dude. That came out of nowhere.
That was crazy.
And overall, got a pretty special episode. We got obviously two guests, and then we got some nice Super Bowl questions that Steve typed out himself.
I typed out myself.
There we go. Nice.
Way to
go, Steve.
Yeah. So
we've perfect grammar, perfect alignment, and everything. Steve really went all out with the questions.
Oh, indeed. So we've seen these faces before in Bet the Over history. We had I want to shout out Jordan's Super Bowl prediction.
Doug?
You were close. Doug. You were close.
Yeah, from the beginning of the year, my predictions were a little off, but I mean,
little bit.
It was Lions. What?
Jaguars.
That one.
Lions, Jaguars.
Not as good.
The Lions was close. It was getting there.
One of your teams made the playoffs, and one of them didn't.
When did the Lions lose the divisional series? Whatever.
They lost in the the divisional, but that was literally they had the first round bye, so they didn't even. They lost the first game they played. Yeah, they lost.
I'd say he's pretty close because one of the teams in the Super Bowl is an animal.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, that
they
is
don't
true.
Fly though. But
I mean, they fly.
I don't know.
But that was a bold prediction. So do you want to just go straight into the questions, or you want to go over the awards first?
I guess we'll talk NFL honors first.
The honors.
I think that makes sense. So I'm going to pull up a little Google Doc we've been working on here so everybody can take a peek. And we can get into discussion on the NFL honors.
Steve, zoom in a little bit.
More?
Yeah. That's good.
The real two stars of the show.
So
Bill Belichick and his girlfriend.
Yeah. Bill Belichick and his 23-year-old girlfriend was definitely one of the highlights of the
crazy, bro.
The honors. The biggest one I think was Josh Allen, because we all know it was between him and Lamar. Some people were saying Saquon. I get it; he had a crazy year. But how do you guys feel about the Josh Allen versus Lamar debate? Do you think Josh Allen deserved it more, or you think Lamar deserved it more?
I didn't really look too much into the stats, but I remember, Kevin, I was talking to you yesterday, and we were playing, and you were like, "Oh, like look at these stats. Like Josh Allen's compared to Lamar Jackson. You're like,
Were a
Lamar
lot-
might have got
they were a
robbed
lot-
again.
Yeah, they were a lot worse, right?
I didn't like Lamar have like 41 touchdowns and Josh
Yeah.
Allen only had 25, something like that,
I think the
Lamar
only thing Josh Allen
had
was
better
ahead in was
stats.
rushing
or
touchdowns.
something similar, like 20ish.
yeah.
Josh Allen was only ahead in stats in rushing touchdowns, I think.
Yeah, I think Lamar had basically Josh Allen beat in every single stat, except for there was like one obscure stat that was kind of. But the big ones was I think he had less interception. He definitely had more touchdowns. Lamar had like 40 something touchdowns. Josh Allen I think only had 29 or 30.
Lamar threw for 41.
Then
Yeah,
again, it's the
41.
most valuable player, but does that really make Josh Allen more valuable than Lamar Jackson?
It's just a dumb. It's the worst award in sports because like it's so subjective. Like every sport has the same problem where like the problem is like if we're being entirely honest, the most valuable player to their team this year was Joe Burrow, but like they didn't make the playoffs, so it doesn't. Joe Burrow went 43-9, and that team was terrible.
Yeah.
But like he's never gonna win the award, and like even Baker like 41-16, like they're just never gonna win those awards. Even like Saquon, you can make the argument, but it's it just doesn't matter because it's a quarterback on one of the best teams. Like that's always that's why Offensive Player of the Year is an award that exists. That's why quarterbacks don't get it as much. I don't actually know, but from what I feel like I remember, quarterbacks don't get it as much because he's the quarterback award. You might as well just make a quarterback award and then a rest award because it's like irrelevant to anyone else. Like it doesn't matter.
Yeah, the quarterbacks always win it.
Who was the last player? What was it? Adrian Peterson, the last non-quarterback to win?
Probably.
Yeah, Steve, you might have to look that one up.
Was there ever a kicker?
No.
I think it was AP.
No?
I don't think so. Like it's been quarterbacks the past like 6 years, I think. Right?
Yeah.
Was
it was AP. Because he had a
that, 2012?
And before that, it's LaDainian Tomlinson. So.
Damn.
LaDainian, sorry.
AP had a 2,000-yard rushing season.
Yeah, bro, that's off the ACL.
Yeah, the year
when the
after.
ACL was like a death sentence. Still.
Yep.
So I just did a little fact check. There has been one time where an MVP award has been given to a kicker. Mark Mosley of the Washington Redskins in 1982.
He might have been one of those
only kicker.
You're right.
He might have been one of those kickers that kicked with like no shoes. That was like a thing in the NFL for a little bit. I swear to God, they wouldn't wear shoes and they'd
I'm not gonna lie.
kick the ball.
That's insane. That 1982, they were like, "Fuck it."
Yeah, I feel like 1982 is not that long ago in NFL history.
If you told me like 1935, I'd be like, "All right, maybe." Like
that's crazy
with the leather helmets.
Yeah, like dude, like.
Dude, what did that guy do? What did that guy do?
He must have been. Well, back then the field goal kicking wasn't as like efficient as it is now. He was probably hitting like 50-yarders and everyone.
1982, he hit 6 of his 5 attempts, or 5 of his 6 40-yard from 49-yard kicks. He had 6 attempts from between 40 and 50 yards. And
nowadays, that would be like a joke.
Guess how many total field goals he had in 1982?
13.
I'd say 17.
21.
Now, it says here, too, that he remains the Washington Redskins' all-time leading scorer with 1,207
Probably
points.
is, yeah.
Yeah, a lot of times the kickers, like this year, I think Boswell was the leading scorer of the season this year.
Yeah, because if you kick 3 times a game, like you're getting 9 points, like you're probably more likely to get those points than a receiver getting 2 touchdowns. You know what I mean?
I guess that carries over into the Washington football team and Commanders, right? That still carries over.
Did you just get us canceled, Doug?
He did. End the stream. Delete it.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
We're all off.
All right. So that was the MVP. Josh Allen, Lamar. I could see it going both ways. I definitely think it has the bias with Lamar winning it the past 2 years. So they were like, just give it to Josh Allen. Then the next award we got is Offensive Player of the Year, going to Saquon.
Makes sense. Who else would you give it? Like Derrick Henry, maybe, but Saquon was just
no Saquon.
I could see an argument for Jamar, maybe, because he had the triple crown.
That's true. Do they give you like the voting for those awards?
They did. They had a stat. I remember going back to the MVP. There was one person that voted on it that didn't give Lamar Jackson like first, second, or third place. They gave him
top 3, right?
Yeah, it gave him like 4th place, and everyone was like making a meme about it.
But it's true. Like, what are you doing? Like,
yeah, like, dude, come on. Saquon winning Offensive Player of the Year. Yeah, I think it was between him and Jamar. I don't. The playoffs isn't technically supposed to influence these awards, but
Yeah,
I feel like it must have,
right.
bro. Because Saquon has just been going so crazy in the playoffs. He's
Saquon,
averaging like 3 touchdowns a game. I think.
Actually,
Has he
who's
scored
even
every
second?
season? Every week? I think he has. He
Mm,
must have missed 1 week, maybe.
no,
Okay,
I
or
don't,
two,
I don't think he
but-
scored every week.
This
He's
is
gone crazy, though.
Kevin and guys. Like, guess who was. So guess the top 5 for the Offensive Player of the Year award. 3 of them are guys who are in the MVP voting.
So I'm assuming it'd be
Saquon's
Saquon,
obviously.
Jamar.
Yeah.
I don't know if Derrick Henry would get it. Would Lamar get it?
Lamar and Derrick Henry are in there.
They are. And Josh Allen,
No.
the last guy. Brock
How did-
Bowers.
It's Joe Burrow.
Oh yeah.
But
Yeah.
how did
Yeah,
Josh
yeah.
Allen win MVP and not get top 5 for Offensive Player of the Year? Like, what does he play defense too? I don't even.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't understand. Maybe because the people that voted for MVP didn't put him as maybe. Like-
Yeah, that's what I always thought too. Like if a
No.
offensive player wins MVP, I feel like wouldn't they just win Offensive Player of the Year
Yes.
as well?
It literally makes no sense. They just make stuff up.
Yeah, they're just like give it to anyone. Who cares?
It's crazy.
So Saquon got it. I mean, he was one rested game away from breaking the all-time rushing yards in a season. He would have broke it if he played the last game.
Yeah.
Granted,
how
he
many
did play
yards?
one more game. He had like 2,000. I don't even know.
It's
2,000, like 100. What?
It says 2005, 205 yards.
He was dumb. He was so good.
Yeah.
So that's crazy.
Yeah, he eclipsed the 2,000 rushing yard like point. I think he's like the 8th player to do that in NFL history or something like that. Yeah, he
think
had an
that's
insane
bad?
season.
Do you think that's like a bad look for the Giants? You think?
I mean, when he got traded, I said he would I knew he would play well. It was more of just whether or not he'd get injured.
Yeah.
Because there was no like denying he was
Yeah,
obviously amazing.
never been
And he'd do
bad.
better. Yeah, he'd do better behind the Eagles' offensive line, which is like the best line in the league. It
Mhm.
was more of just like an injury concern.
Yeah.
He obviously played this entire season. I mean, if he keeps it up, he's going to shatter a lot of records. But I don't know. Durability is still a concern because when he was on the Giants, he'd get hurt like every other year, basically.
Yeah.
So got to see what happens next year. So that's that section. Steve, you want to go to the next question?
Yes. So we got Jaden Daniels, Offensive Rookie of the Year. What do you guys as a group think made Jaden Daniels stand out among rookie quarterbacks this season? I think that's a little obvious.
Well, making it to the postseason is definitely one of them.
I would say making it to the conference championship game.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, especially since they had the second worst record in the league last year.
They were really bad.
Yeah,
Oh,
so
did they?
Good coaching though.
Yeah. Cliff Kingsbury, bro.
Facts.
The air raid.
Air raid is back.
to piggyback off of that,
It's back and thriving.
I'm
What do you
so
think-
sure they're going to be bad next year. By the way,
I was going to say, that was my next question. What do you think we can expect from the Commanders in the future? And how does that impact the NFC East going forward?
Who wants?
Sorry.
Sheesh. Oh,
Started an accident.
Hey, yo.
what's going on, everybody? Back again.
Who wants to answer
I
that?
mean,
Steve, you answer it.
oh yeah, Steve, you go first. I have something to say
Oh,
after.
yeah, for sure. I anticipate a little bit of a fall off, kind of a similar situation like we saw with the Houston Texans this year. Obviously, they were still a playoff team, but they had a first round exit. And Stroud was lit up this season. I mean, I think the Commanders have a pretty strong O line. So Jaden Daniels can also,
it's like average.
regardless, like an average O line, the kid can move pretty well. So I think we see a lot of the same things going forward. And maybe they can beef up the O line a little bit. And I don't really know what else to expect from the team. Like I don't really know too much about their defense and if they're too good. But I don't know. I mean, I feel like it really could have been like a Linsanity run.
Yeah. One thing I want to add before A-Woods goes. Apparently, the Commanders are one of the top teams to get Myles Garrett. We also might need to talk about that as well.
Yeah, we
Hey,
should.
let's see who can go.
That's what I was going
I
to
think
say.
the Lions, no?
Yeah, they
I've heard
could.
the
But the thing is, the
Lions,
Lions, like, do they have enough money to pay 30-something million to Myles Garrett? I don't know. But for me, like, the thing that you remember, Kevin, the beginning of the year, Jaden played like some fine games, but we were like, oh, he's just running a lot. Like, it wasn't even like we were like,
throwing, yeah.
I remember we both were like, I never was this big believer, but I remember even you were like, I don't know, like he didn't look that good. Like he looked fine. And then like he randomly just started like being great. Like, and then it just never stopped. Like he just kind of never looked back, I guess. I don't know what changed. Like the thing is too, there is that sophomore slump thing. Like teams are gonna figure out what works, like what to do. Like and that doesn't mean he's bad. It's just what always happens. Like it's just,
after a fantastic rookie season like that, it's almost expected to take a slight step back.
How much better can you be? Like
he was like on 3rd down or 4th down. I'm pretty sure they were converting like the highest rate ever in NFL history.
Right. That's insane. What all those dudes do. It's crazy. Like all those athletic dudes, like Josh Allen. Like that's why I hate playing against the Bills.
We got a comment coming in here from SEAL Team Thix. What's up, James? Kev, I'm gonna have you take a look at this comment.
He says Myles would be a great fit in Buffalo, but we won't get him / can't pay him. Josh Allen too expensive after this season.
Yeah.
I mean, that's true.
Hey, is Josh Allen a free agent after the season? After the next season?
He's tied up for like years.
But he's getting a lot of money.
Yeah.
Is it after this
year starts? What were we saying? The inevitable step back.
Oh yeah, just like the 4th down, bro. I hate these teams because like you have like the Josh Allen teams, the Lamar Jackson team. Like, bro, it's just like you stop them on 3rd down, and it's like 4th and 3, and you're like, all right, they're gonna get off the field, and they never do because
they just like convert
because they go into a pass play, and if they don't have a pass play, it's some read option thing where he just runs and they get a first down every time.
Yeah,
the most annoying thing to play against. It sucks. I hate it.
Yeah, you're right on that Jaden Daniels first quote too, because beginning of the season he was running a lot. He wasn't really lighting it up with throws, and even when they played the Giants the first time, like this is the reason I didn't think he was that absurd, because the Giants barely lost. They honestly probably should have won, but Malik had like a crucial drop late in the 4th. But anyway, he was running a lot. He wasn't really lighting it up, and before the season started, that's kind of what I expected because I knew he was a very good runner. Yeah. I questioned like his accuracy. He was similar to Lamar coming out of Louisville. You didn't know what you really had. He was throwing to 2 elite wide receivers, it looks like now, because he was throwing to Malik and Brian Thomas. Yeah. Some
true, actually.
And but he obviously exceeded all expectations. He was by far, I think he was by far like the best, most impactful rookie season I think I've ever seen.
Yeah, it's like Brock honestly had one of the craziest seasons I've ever seen too, though. Like Brock Bowers, not to like really go into this rookie conversation. Obviously, the Super Bowl's tomorrow, but like Brock Bowers is crazy. Like I'm still happy with the Jets pick. Like I know like people will be like, look at how good Brock Bowers is, but like realistically, I'd rather know that like, and who knows how good he stays, but like I'd rather know for the next 8 years that like I have a tackle than a tight end.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. But
I remember when the draft was coming up, we were all speculating that the Jets might take Brock. All in this season.
I wish they did. I really wish they did. Olu's not bad. Olu's honestly not bad. I think he'll be good, but oh my god, Brock Bowers is a stud, dude.
I know. I like I was saying, like I would, if you told me Olu is top 12 at his position for the next decade, and even if Brock Bowers is top 3 for the whole decade, I think I'd rather have the tackle.
Yeah, it's a more important position.
Just knowing the Jets too, like every year we suck at offensive line, so I'd rather.
Yeah, but also knowing the Jets, he'll be hurt every other season.
Yeah, but you could say that about Brock too. You know what I mean? Like that, you can make that about any player.
Yeah, that's a good point. Moving on to this next question. I'd like to talk on Joe Burrow's Joe Burrow being the winner of the Comeback Player of the Year award, and I want to go to A Woods with if he believes or does not believe that Sam Darnold deserved it more.
The problem again.
That was my own question, by the way.
The problem with this award is what does. Good job, Steve. Proud of you. What does comeback mean? Like, what do you? Does it have to be you were out for the year? Does it have to be bad thing happened? Do you have to have a disease? Do you have to be just bad? Like, because if you're just bad, Sam Darnold should win it. But
well, I know what you're saying. I mean, I think Sam Darnold really defines or gives an answer to your question there. If you're asking what it is that the Comeback Player of the Year award should be, you know, he literally came back.
Well, that's why I think it's an injury award, because Joe Burrow won and Dobbins was second. Like, I actually think it's an injury or tragedy award. Like, that's what it is. Which
that's fair.
Fine, but like that's a different conversation. Like, realistically, like Christian Gonzalez finished 5th place. I don't even know how Aaron Rodgers didn't make the list. Like, Aaron Rodgers had a really good year. The team was just ass. Like, but like, and I don't care. I'm not like upset he didn't win it or something. But that's my point. Is I think they have to do a better job of being like, what does comeback player mean, or should be like. Come back from injury, like there should be like an injury award, like name it after like Adrian Peterson or something, because he came back from, I don't know, just something, so you know what these are. Like everyone was like, why didn't DeMar Hamlin win? I'm like, dude, wasn't he supposed to win the thing last year? Like, he's just gonna be up for it every year until he wins. Like, I don't care. It's amazing, but like,
no, you make some really good points.
It's just confusing.
As far as your takes on the awards go, I think you make really good points there. I do want to note that we have 4 viewers now, but we did have 5 viewers in here a moment ago.
RIP to that one.
Yeah, I mean that's really cool to see. Super Bowl special here. I'd like to maybe call it like a little bit of an end of season for Bet the Over season 1. Seems like we got a lot of people checking it out, so that's really cool.
I just want to say I'm looking at these stats right now for Joe Burrow and Josh Allen.
Back up the mic a little bit.
I'm sorry. I was looking at the stats for Joe Burrow and Josh Allen. And I'm looking at Joe Burrow's stats. They completely dominate Josh Allen.
Oh, they do.
Yeah, Burrow had the best stats out of anyone.
And I'm looking at Joe Burrow's stats from the beginning of the season. They weren't even that bad. For comeback player of the year, I feel like his team just started winning. He didn't start winning. He's always been good. He's averaging the first.
He was just out last
7 weeks. It was 3 touchdowns, 3 touchdowns,
what
3
did
touchdowns,
he do
3
last year?
touchdowns.
Or something?
Yeah, because last year he was hurt. The comeback player of the year is like coming back from last season. Yeah. The wrist injury.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah.
Bro, I was out of work sick. I was out of work sick on Tuesday. Do I get to win the comeback player of the year award on Wednesday?
Employee comeback player of the year.
Okay. I always thought comeback player who just performed better at the end of the season. I didn't think it was from last year.
Yeah. No, it's like whatever happened last year.
Oh, okay. Even still, I'm looking at the stats. He has just better stats
because like DeMar Hamlin was played last year. So
yeah.
Even still, I'm looking at Josh Allen's stats and Joe Burrow's stats, and Joe Burrow just has better stats.
No, Burrow had better stats the entire year. Yeah, it's just he didn't win games, and Josh Allen did. Yeah. Is it zooming in on me, or is that just me?
Yeah, but I was testing out the solo layout while you were chatting there, but it doesn't really.
I was like scrolling my mouse. I thought I like messed up the screen.
It doesn't transition too great.
Isn't it supposed to be the most valuable player? Not really about like the team, what the team can do. It's all about the player.
But that's the problem. Is like that's the whole award issue, like we were talking about. Like,
yeah, but could you argue that Joe Burrow should have done more if he wanted to be the most valuable player for the team?
What else can you do besides?
I know what you're saying, but should
he can't run out there and play corner, bro?
You're right. I'm just saying, is that what the award is arguing? Like he should have done more to get his team to the playoffs.
The award is he didn't make the playoffs. If that team wins that last game, he might be the MVP. Dude, he threw for 4,900 yards, 43 touchdowns, 9 interceptions.
Like it seems like it's whoever gets their team the farthest.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
That's like, and he was sacked the 4th most in the league with all of those stats. Like that's crazy.
Yeah, we talked about this a couple episodes ago. Like Joe Burrow had the best stats out of all of them. So if you want to argue stats, Burrow should have won it. Yeah. And then
it's literally just a stats plus team record.
Yeah, it's like I guess it's a combination of a bunch of different factors.
Hopefully they fix it eventually. But I doubt it. But
it's more of like a popularity contest, in my opinion.
Like realistically, I think Allen won it because Lamar won it last year too.
Yeah, Romo was right with that take.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's a problem, but that's probably why.
So okay, we have some Super Bowl related questions here. First thing I do want to, I just totally lost my train of thought there. But anyways, I'm gonna go to you, Doug, with this question. Who do you have winning the Super Bowl 59, the Chiefs or the Eagles, and why?
I mean, I'm going to compare this to baseball. I was thinking about this before. I'm looking at the Chiefs. They have Patrick Mahomes. They have Kareem Hunt. They weren't really the best players this year, but their team overall, like the Astros, they just know how to win. Yeah. And that's what it is. They just know how to just win. The Astros didn't have that great of a season last year, but they can just put up numbers and they can just win. same thing with Andy Reid. He just knows how to make the right plays.
I wouldn't even say maybe like putting up numbers. I mean, they do, of course, but I feel like it's just in those critical situations. Like if you completely leave the refs out of it, looking at it from like a more realistic standpoint, if you really look at it like they just know how to, I don't know, put themselves in a situation to win.
Yeah.
Or take advantage of the other team not managing their clock right, you know what I mean, and stuff like that. So I don't know, as frustrating as it is
with that, Steve. I think that's the biggest point, is like it's not about always being the best team. Like it's the only easy comparison for me is like soccer, where like the best teams know how to win when they don't play well. Like you don't have to look good when you win, just win. Like no one cares if you win the Super Bowl. Like you could, like the Patriots never cared how they played. You just won. Didn't matter.
Yeah. That's true.
And that's how the Chiefs literally got through the entire season.
Yeah.
I think on paper the Eagles are a better team. Straight up.
Yeah.
I think they have more talent everywhere. Offensive line, they're better. Defensive line, it's kind of equal, but the Eagles have been hot lately, so I'll give it to the Eagles. Secondary, it's kind of close, but the Eagles got Quinyon and DeJean. I mean, the Chiefs have like Trent McDuffie and Reed.
But I think the Chiefs defense is better than the Chiefs offense now.
The Chiefs defense has been pretty good,
like,
but the Eagles defense is nasty
too. Spags is legit.
No, Spags I think is the most like underappreciated defensive coordinator in the league. No one talks about it, but he always has an amazing defense. And the Giants.
The Jets interviewed him for a head coach position. Like I don't think I would have maybe wanted that, but like I see why people do. Like they ask. Like I get it.
I feel like the Chiefs are also very good at adjusting their game plan at halftime.
Yeah.
They'll be doing something. That's why I feel like the games are always close, because they'll be like playing offense and playing defense, and the games will always remain close. And then Reed just like cooks up a game plan in the locker room, gets the boys fired up, plays a little Chief Keef, and they go out there and they win.
That's what they do.
Yeah. That's literally it.
And you know what it is? Like we're going to do the same thing this offseason. And at the end of April, and whatever the draft is, it's April, right?
Yeah.
At the end of April, when we're like talking about the draft and like, oh, like who's going to be good next year, everyone's going to be like, I don't know, the Chiefs look like they took another step back, and they're going to be the same. Like, it's just what good coaches and good quarterbacks do. You just like, everyone thinks you're not going to be good, and you just win. You just defy everyone's.
Andy Reid is built different.
Yeah, Andy Reid is like that. Yeah,
he just literally is different.
He just knows what plays to call. The right time.
Listen,
every time.
You all make some very, very good points as to why the Chiefs are actually a good team, but we all know that they cheated.
Mahomes is looking that way, breaking down, able to get rid of it. And somehow at the end, I think the Bills, no, they're going to say Worthy has possession. We got a flag down, but this is a catch by Worthy.
Case in point there, folks, and to everybody on TikTok saying that we don't know what we're talking about and that it was a catch, it was not.
Well, did they ask like a report, not a reporter, but like an actual referee or a person who deals with these things? Did someone like ask them? Like,
they do the pool questions after. I don't know what.
Yeah, but didn't the defender has possession? The ball hits the ground. There's no world where that's a catch.
I don't know.
The argument. Someone explained it in the comments, and it was actually good.
Yeah, but they were wrong.
I wish the refs. No. It wasn't TikTok. It was Instagram. I wish the refs would give an explanation to like what the call is. You know what I mean? They're just like, oh, the Chiefs caught it, first down, and they just move on with the play. Like, explain what happens, because apparently, what the call was is the Worthy had possession of the ball because the Bills player was holding on to it as well, so that counts as, I guess, possession for Worthy, and then he ended up getting the ball, Rudy. But I don't know, bro. That was crazy.
I don't understand enough of the rules to like. No, that's not true. But you know what I mean. Like there's rules all the time, and I'm confused.
Do you want to piggyback on this point from James here?
Bishop had more control of the ball than Worthy at one point. One hand of the ball and one touching the ground. That's an IP.
Incomplete pass, I think.
Incomplete and Pee-wee. I don't know. Yeah. Again, like my thing is like. I mean, me and Steven go back and forth all the time on this. Like, I think we mistake not we, you guys, sometimes people out there mistake refs being bad at their jobs for corruption.
Yeah, I mean, again, like all like jokes aside,
There's just a lot of speculation.
Yeah, it's easy to do.
I just think it's getting to be. I mean, you could be, and you probably are right that the Chiefs are so, I guess, hyper focused in the media that things like this will get blown out of proportion. But it just seems in the most crucial possible situations in the playoffs, you have these referees that can make these mistakes when they shouldn't be happening in a big game like this.
Yeah, but like that happened to the Saints like 4 or 5 years ago, and like,
it did. It did. No, you're right. It did. It did.
We weren't like there's a Rams conspiracy.
That was
theory.
terrible. But it hasn't happened. It hasn't happened this consistently to any team.
Sure, but like that's just because they're always in the biggest games too.
Yeah, I guess, but
like
they're in the biggest. You could argue. You could argue that they're in the biggest game because they were given all of this.
You really think they're only in the Super Bowl 3 years in a row, and they've won? They were in it 2 other times because of refs. Though?
No, of course not. Of course not.
Like that's the playoffs. I know that like that call was controversial in the Josh Allen touchdown as well, but the playoffs, the Chiefs haven't been getting crazy calls. I felt like in the regular season, there was like certain stuff that was just like, bro, how is this happening? I mean, I guess in the end, it wouldn't have mattered because they probably would have just won anyway. You know what I mean?
And we be honest too, like if not to sound harsh, but like Josh Allen had every chance to win that football game and didn't.
Oh, of course. No, you're right. You're right.
Yeah. Like if they're gonna rig the game, like it's not like the Chiefs ended with the kick where like they won and they didn't have a chance. Like the Bills had the ball with 2.5 minutes left or whatever it is.
Yeah. No, you're right. You're right. It was like 3 minutes and 33 seconds.
Exactly.
You gotta get a first down there, Josh.
At some point, you got to be able to win a football game. And like, yeah, Josh Allen's great. And I think he's like crazy, and I hate that he's good. But like, at some point, like, bro, you gotta like win a game, and like the game's in your hands. You couldn't have asked for anything else. Like,
until you make that drive down the field and beat Mahomes and the Chiefs, Mahomes will always be regarded as the best quarterback in the league.
Yep.
And no one has been able to do it besides Joe Burrow that 1 year and Brady.
And realistically, like I don't see like how anyone that's a current football player catches up. But
no. Yeah, Mahomes has already cemented himself.
Like if he wins the Super Bowl, you're already on like Brady chase.
Oh yeah.
I think he's already on Brady chase.
I agree, but I mean, like,
can you argue Mahomes is already like top 3? Because I think you could.
I think
all time.
The thing is, like, we're so like recency bias. Where like I can agree. But I also like it's the same Jordan LeBron conversation. Like, can I tell you that he's better than Joe Montana? Like, yes, because I feel like athletes are just naturally better. But I also would say like Aaron Rodgers is better than Joe Montana. Like as a quarterback, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a different world.
Well, do coaches have more influence nowadays, or you think back then?
I think so.
Yeah,
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. I guess 100% it's subjective.
Because these coaches are helping these players beat the games and win the games. But.
So what? How many Super Bowls does Brady have? 7.
7.
Yes,
Mahomes
7.
has. If Mahomes wins,
he has 4 if he wins.
It would be 4.
And what does Montana even have?
29. 5, I think.
A 5.
Right? That sounds correct.
Oh, I thought you said 29.
I think, I thought you said 29 too. I was like, damn, bro. Where are these numbers coming from?
Yeah, who's Brady?
Let me look it up. 4.
Bro.
So he ties Joe Montana.
Dude.
Who has the most? Tom Brady, 7?
Yeah.
Yeah. Tom Brady has more Super Bowls than any franchise has.
Yeah.
Because the most is the Steelers, I think,
right, yeah.
with 6. That's why Brady's the GOAT. And the argument with Brady will always be that he beat Mahomes in the playoffs. Was it
I know,
twice?
but at some point, like, if Mahomes goes out and wins 5 before he's 30.
That's always going to be the argument, though. You know it. It always will be.
To be fair, I don't think you'll ever have the consensus be Mahomes is better. But
what team do you think Mahomes will go to in the last couple of years?
I don't think so.
I think going back to the Chiefs.
No, I think he'll switch it up. I think I think all of these quarterbacks do that.
I also feel like it's hard to predict what like the NFL landscape is in 27 or 2030 something.
2030.
I mean, why did Brady switch?
Bro, he was just bored, man. I bet he wanted.
I don't even think he was bored. I think they were trying to move on just because they were like, he's kind of getting past it, and we need to like move forward and look for stuff.
Yeah,
and I think it was kind of like a Belichick and him thing.
And low key, I think Brady was just like, "Yeah, I'm gonna go get another chip," so he went to another team and kind of
prove it that it wasn't just with Belichick.
That's GOAT status. Imagine that.
GOAT stuff.
That is insane.
Yo, everyone was like, "Yo, Belichick carried him, bro."
I will say I still think Belichick's the best coach ever, but
you think so?
Yeah.
Reed's getting in that conversation now.
Whoa! You
absolutely.
You guys remember Adam Gase?
Facts.
Yeah.
Gase is a good coach.
You don't remember Ben McAdoo on the Giants?
Bro, Peyton Manning called the Johnsons to tell him that he's a good coach, so that he must be.
No way.
No. You remember Colin Cowherd? He's like, Gase is a good coach.
Yeah, he literally said, like, I just bought my ticket to the Sam Darnold, like, Super Bowl or whatever, the AFC Championship, and Jesus Christ.
So yeah, that was a good section there or segment.
We're still forgetting about Robert Saleh and the GOAT.
Bro, I feel bad for Saleh. I don't know.
I do too.
I'm so weird about Saleh because like I feel like he was kind of like fake at some points, but also like was he really that like? Can I tell?
I don't think he was that bad.
Yeah, like exactly. Like, is anyone going to be good? Like Aaron Glenn's not going to be good. It's not his fault.
It's just the Jets, yeah.
Yeah, but you got to put the blame on someone.
Exactly.
You got to put
the
Woody Johnson.
The coach is always the
like, they have to
scapegoat.
put the blame on someone.
The coach and quarterback always are the issue, no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
Put it on me at this point. I'll take.
I'll take the blame.
Just fix the shit, man.
Yep.
So Steve, we'll answer like one or two more questions, right? And then we'll call it.
Yeah, right. We'll get it.
Do we have to finish the predictions? I guess Doug just.
Yeah, well, I said my prediction. I think I have my money on the Chiefs.
If you want to go around, I will say I think the Chiefs are going to win. I don't think there's any chance the Eagles win, and I think you should put your money on the Chiefs. There's no shot. The NFL doesn't.
No chance of the Eagles winning is a crazy take. I think there's a shot.
I don't think shot.
I don't think there is.
Yeah,
I just think the Chiefs.
The only reason why I say Chiefs is because they always find a way to win. I think the Eagles are just a superior team, like a powerhouse team. They have I would say just as good as quarterback, but they have the run, they have the stop, they have offensive line, defensive line, but the Chiefs just know how to win every time. So that's why I have my money on the Chiefs.
I think you see some suspect calls. That's all I'm going to say.
Of course you do.
Of course. There's going to be.
Yeah.
There's probably going to be suspect calls.
You told me a few weeks ago, Steve, remember I was having a conversation with you a few weeks ago, and I'm like, oh, come, like we're about to watch the Buffalo Bills and the Chiefs.
Yeah.
And you're like, just watch the game. There's going to be some questionable calls. That was like a day before that game happened.
Yeah.
And now there's whole speculation going on about that game right now.
I feel like you could say that about every game, though. Like, I could say, like, yo, there's going to be questionable calls, like, in, like, the opening day Mets game. Like, it's just what's going to happen. Like, it just does happen.
Like
but
that.
Steve just, like, really hates them because, like, they're just, like, on TV and the Jets are bad. So, like, he just doesn't like it.
What's a questionable call in a baseball game? Like, you're not drawing a line.
You
know that video? You know that video?
He's drawing a line. Yeah.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
Yeah. Boom. Goodbye.
I mean, questioning Paul. Yeah, there's not really much. You can always they always replay every single play.
Yo, real quick. How we feeling about the Yankees this year, Doug? Real quick.
Good. Good. That's all. I don't really like to get my expectations too high, but I feel good. I think they're better.
How do you feel about the whole, we haven't talked to you since the whole Han Soto thing.
Han Solo.
Han Solo.
Yeah. I think they're just a better, well-rounded team. I think the Yankees were better last year, but there were so many holes where it was hard for me to watch a game where they would just blow these leads. And I know for next season, I think there's going to be a chance every single game that they're going to like fight back.
Are the Dodgers like comparable to like the Chiefs?
No, because like it's more
they would be like the Eagles because they have like every good player.
Yeah, kind of. Or like I don't even know. There really isn't a comparable. Or like
I think the Dodgers are better than the Eagles.
The Dodgers are more like the Rams.
The Dodgers just signed Jesus Christ. You guys see that?
Yeah.
Like remember when the Rams were in the Super Bowl with like Donald, Jalen Ramsey, like
yeah,
like, that's more like
even Odell. Remember, even though he wasn't as good, he turned up those last games.
That team doesn't even really work, to be honest. There's just no comparable.
Have a comment coming in from Prunes. Doug, stop screaming to the mic. Shout out Prunes and his YouTube shorts. Everybody go check them out.
Yeah, I think I'm going to switch over my microphone. That's why I didn't want to talk on this one. So I'm going to switch it over.
All right, let's get into another question here, folks. Kev, this one's for you. What would you say is the biggest X factor in this upcoming Super Bowl matchup tomorrow? Is it a specific player, coaching decision, or matchup that will swing the outcome?
I I'll go. I'm not going to pick a player, so I'll go. Well, I think Saquon could have the biggest impact, but it's going to be interesting to see like how the Chiefs respond to it, because I truly think Spagnuolo was like an amazing defensive coordinator. He could probably be argued one of the best defensive coordinators ever.
Yeah,
and he doesn't really get talked about that much. But if the Chiefs can stop the run and make Hurts throw it, he hasn't really done much in the playoffs. Like it's literally been the Saquon show. It really has been.
Do you remember the Bills game though? What did the Bills try to do instead of what did the entire second half? They came out, they ran the ball 15 times in a row.
Yeah.
Now you have a better O-line and the best running back in football. Like, I don't know.
I'm sure the Eagles have that in mind though.
No, that's what it is.
Because you can. Yeah.
Like, I think the Eagles are going to run like so many times.
So I think on offense for the Eagles, it's Saquon, and on defense, I think it always comes back to Jones.
Yeah.
Daniel Jones?
Yeah, Daniel Jones. He's on the Minnesota. He's in Cancun with Sam Darnold.
Yeah.
Hey, you guys can hear me all right?
Yep.
Yeah.
That sounds worse, though. Switch your mic back.
I'm going to stick with
yeah, Chris Jones and Saquon. Because,
yeah,
I don't know. The Eagles, if it was up to the Eagles, they would run the ball like 85% of the game. They just want to run the ball. They want to give it to Saquon and have him cook.
The more I talk about the game, I talk myself into the Eagles. But the more I think about it, there's just something inevitable about Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid.
Dude, I think I keep saying
Swift.
this. The Eagles are a better team. They're straight up. They have so many stars and great players, but it's just like,
they're sick though. Did you see that?
They'll just find a way. Oh yeah, there's people are like, yo, they're already making excuses.
They got the flu, bro. Not good.
Who's got the flu? The Eagles?
The Eagles.
Yeah, apparently it's going around the locker room. But that was like early this week, bro. People will be
Yeah. And also they'll pump them with it, whatever, something in there.
Dude, people with the flu will play in the Super Bowl. I love how people are like, they're hoping he'll be available for Sunday. I'm like, bro, you think Jalen Carter's gonna miss the Super Bowl because he has like a cold?
Yeah, he's like, actually, coach, I can't make it.
Yeah, there's no way.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that answers my question. Saquon and Chris Jones. Chris Jones, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, if we have time, I'd like to ask just one question.
I almost said Mike Jones.
Mike Jones.
It's not really yeah, I guess it would be a question for you three. I know the last couple Super Bowls, the logo has been a huge factor in the last couple. Do you guys
theory debunked last year?
Theory?
Next question.
Well, they were saying that, but then the purple stood for like Taylor Swift because that was the main topic of conversation that time.
Bro,
could you make that anything though?
Dude, you can make the color
Yeah,
anything.
you could.
What's the color this year? What even is it?
Red and green, yellow.
The one that you're looking at, yeah. But
so we got the Eagles in there. We got the Eagles in there, and then we got the Chiefs.
Yeah, I remember Steve and Doug were on this wave last year, and then it was purple and red, and it just completely destroyed the theory. And they're like, "Oh, Taylor Swift because the Eras tour is purple."
Yeah, because her favorite color is purple or something.
Yeah.
So one miss out of all that. But do you know what next year's is? I think
next year's Titans and Panthers.
Yeah.
So get ready.
I got a weird feeling we're not getting that one.
Getting ready for that matchup.
I think the theory's debunked right now for next year.
I don't think, bro. To be fair, who knows? I don't know. Bryce Young looked good,
bro. I love how last year, because it was purple, they're like, "Oh, Baltimore doesn't count. It's the Eras tour." Like, bro, the logo could be like indigo, or it could be any color, and they'd be like, "Well, that's technically Mahomes' favorite color."
Yeah.
So
he said it in an interview once.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm gonna be honest though, when I saw this green and this logo when it came out last year, I was like, "Oh my gosh, we're going."
That's tough.
Oh man! 7 viewers. What's up, everybody?
Sheesh, we're popping off, and I accidentally left on my computer because I clicked something.
So, yeah, that answers that question. We got a little sidetracked with the logo debate.
Did we all give our picks? Kev, did you pick?
I said the same thing. Yeah, I think the Chiefs are just going to find a way, like game-winning field goal, overtime field goal somehow. Everyone bet on purple Gatorade. Apparently the past 2 years when the Chiefs have won, it was purple Gatorade.
All right. I
don't know where Doug went, but
he had to go handle something, he said, so.
No outro, I guess.
Yeah, I thought he was going to say bye, but he just did a little and headed out. So, aura right there. I mean, we can wrap it up soon here.
I know. I'm trying to think who
I guess I want to
Eagles. I guess I'm picking the Eagles.
We're at about the 45-minute mark. Let's get into. We got a little Mother Nature calls here from Doug. So,
oh no.
I guess it's raining outside. Anyways, I want to ask you guys your closing thoughts. I want to ask you guys your closing thoughts on the game here, and how do we feel about the season as a whole? What would you rate it?
Personally, or
yeah, Awood, you go first, and then we'll go Steve, and then I'll wrap it up.
I feel like how do I say that without being entirely like I hated football after like week 7?
I think I hated it after like week 4.
Yeah,
I didn't actually hate it, but it was like
the playoffs have been pretty good.
Yeah,
the games were like they were supposed to be good games for the most part have paid out really well. Like,
sorry, my camera's bugging out if you've been noticing it.
I've enjoyed those games. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just hard when your team like is supposed to be good and they're always terrible. And
like honestly, can we just like even if we go like 9, even if we go like 9-7 or whatever it is, like 9-8, whatever, and then just get eliminated in the very last game? Can that just happen, bro? Because at this point, it's like I want to just watch it the whole way through.
Well, yeah, it just sucks to get to week like 10 and be like, I guess we have to hope every game, every other team loses and we win every game. Like,
yeah.
As Jets and Giants fans, next year, all I'm praying for is to make it to Thanksgiving and still be in at least not eliminated from the playoffs.
Just not hoping to lose.
Mathematically eliminated.
Kev, after this year for you guys, I think you want to make it to Halloween, bro.
But I need to make it to week 3, bro. At this point,
I think when we were at my place for the first game, I think you were closing it up after like the second quarter of the game against the Commanders.
But that was also against Minnesota, who was unexpectedly
it was
good
Minnesota
this year.
Yeah.
That's true.
And then they play Washington week 2, and they barely like lost to them. So that's what my hope's going with is Washington did so good, and the Giants almost beat them in the second week. So
you might be
honestly, I think if they just had a kicker that game and they would have won,
they probably would have won. It would have been.
I don't think it would have made a huge difference for the season, but like it might have like having that 1-1 record as opposed to having the 0-2 record. Really, it could have like maybe had a little chain reaction.
I agree. I don't think they would have been good, but I agree with the sentiment. Like
I thought they'd win like 5 games.
I had them as a sleeper playoff team. So.
Well, I had the Jets going 13-3.
Well, yeah, I thought the Giants would sneak into a wild card. I honestly bought back into the Daniel Jones thing. Like I was like in.
Daniel Jones was such a polarizing player. I swear to God, bro. I'm kind of happy he's off the team, so I don't. He doesn't have to give me that like glimmer of hope where he plays elite for that one game. Yeah. Like he'll rip up the Saints, and you'll be like, "Yo, he's sick," and then he'll come back next week, throw like 3 interceptions.
It's also just a reset. Like
yeah.
We're gonna do a little bonus. We're gonna do a little bonus quick fire round here. I'm gonna give you each a question. I'm gonna just throw a question out there. You're both gonna answer it.
You got 10 seconds per question. We'll start with A-Woods.
Question. So
like I have like 10 seconds to answer.
Yep.
Okay.
So I'm gonna get a timer here. Hold on.
I'm excited.
Steve, I have the page open, so I'll ask you your question.
Okay, you're gonna get me too. Okay, pause.
Yeah.
You're gonna get me with the question too. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Right. And
A-Woods
timer
first.
is ready to go. A-Woods, you're first. And your question is first touchdown scorer. Ready, go. 7, 6.
Kareem Hunt.
5. Okay.
Kareem Hunt, locked in. Steve, final score predictions.
That's a hard one.
27-24.
Yep.
Eagles. No, Chiefs.
All right.
Sorry. Kev, you're up. Yep. All right. Gatorade color dumped on the winning coach.
Chiefs purple, Eagles orange.
Okay. All right. A-Woods, which team scores first?
The Eagles.
Philadelphia.
And
then last one, both of you. All right. A-Woods first, then Steve second. Coin toss, heads or tails?
Tails.
Okay,
there you go, folks.
Also, wait, you know what I totally just did, by the way? You asked me who was the first touchdown scorer, and I said Kareem Hunt, and then you said who scores first, and I said the Eagles.
Oh, contradiction.
Someone
clip it.
It could happen. They could kick a field goal, and then they could.
Well, yeah, it could be a field goal by the Eagles, which isn't.
There you go.
Which is kind of likely.
I feel like the Super Bowl is going to start with a field goal. I have a hunch.
Yeah.
Kev, over or under on total points?
What's the line set at?
It's a great question. Can anyone get us that line?
I got you.
Get us that line.
Over under. Steve's just like the line set at
I don't
like
know the
one.
number. 48.5.
48.5. So what's that? 24.
Yeah.
20.
I'm gonna say over.
But both teams kind of like to run the ball. I'm slamming the under.
I was gonna say under, but that's boring to vote for, so I'm not.
It is boring, but you never know. If this game is close going into the fourth quarter, I think the safest bet you can make is Chiefs money line.
Yeah, if
they're losing by 3 at halftime,
I could see the Eagles being up 10 or something going into half and winning because they just run the ball so much.
You think so? I could see the opposite. I could see the Eagles going into halftime like what happened. What was it, 2 years ago? The Eagles were winning at halftime.
Yeah, that's
they were
also
up. I think they were up by 10.
Though? All logic goes out the window because it's just like not in Steven's way, it's the Chiefs, but it's the Chiefs. You know what I mean? Like it's just like normally you'd be like, all right, this team, they're great, but like that other team is up 10. They have a great running back, great run game. Like they're gonna win. But like there's just a demon on the other side of the field.
But then you just think, oh, they're up 10, they're running the ball, the Chiefs can't stop them. And then it's just like, what's the argument for the Chiefs? It's like they have Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
You're like, all right, it's 50-50.
Right, cool. I guess you're right. I also expect a big AJ Brown game.
AJ Brown. I saw a stat that Devontae Smith carves up the Chiefs.
Does he?
2 times. Right. The last 2 times he played them, I think he averaged like 85 plus. So slam that.
I could see
over.
Like a big gadget game too. They rip out all those plays. Like Xavier Worthy has like rushing yards or something.
And end around Xavier Worthy like 30
That's
yard
a good
gain.
Bet.
Yeah.
So we can give our closing thoughts here. I hope everybody has an amazing Super Bowl, and thank you so much for all of the love and support towards Bet the Over throughout this first season that we've been doing this little podcast. But Kev, I'll let you say some stuff as well, since you are our host.
So this is officially the end of season 1 of Bet the Over. We got the NFL theme song in the background. It's been a good year. Obviously, Jets Giants underperformed, but we got the Super Bowl nobody wanted. But guess what? It's still football. It was fun. Recap of the season. Everything was great.
Draft stuff.
And yeah, honestly, getting into the off season, some even argue that that's a better time for sports.
It's my favorite. I like the offseason.
I honestly like the offseason more too, because
both
the Jets and the Giants, everyone has the same record in the NFL, so they make a good draft pick. You can get fired up looking forward to the future.
Jets have won the offseason 3 years in a row.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go for it again. Three-peat. All right. Hey, you got anything you want to say before we close it out?
I don't know. Maybe we'll do like a little bit of right before baseball season starts. We could do an episode or something.
Yeah, maybe we could bring Doug and you back on.
We'll throw some
some baseball stuff. That's Doug's stuff that he loves to talk about. Yeah, Bet the Over. Great things NASCAR. Coming, everybody. NASCAR. Yeah, we need our NASCAR guy.
A little croquet guy. Yeah.
Yep.
The basket weaving championships.
Hell yeah. Word. There's a meme of certain championships going on right now, but I can't say what it is. But
Jesus Christ.
League is calling, Prunes says. Once again, shout out Prunes. Go check out his shorts. Shout out to Bet the Over. Shout out to Kev. Shout out to A-Woods. Shout out to Doug. Thank you everyone for an amazing first season of the show. We hope you're with us going forward, and we will see you next week when we move into our off-season content and our Super Bowl summary. And maybe we'll have a little talk about if there was any more cheating involved.
Thanks for tuning in, guys.
Yep. Bet the over.
Slam the over.